Hello, I'm Claudia, an Italian artist originally from Milan. Today is the 20th September 2025. My encounter with art happened at home. I was fortunate to grow up in an environment rich in cultures and books. My father was an architect, and as a young man, he rented an attic to painting. When I was a teenager, he showed me the magic of oil painting, buying me my first brushes and tubes of paint. However, after that first stroke together, artistic expression became something of my own, an expressive tool that I have turned to more consistently since my dad passed away. Sometimes to reconnect with him, sometimes to seek myself, to process emotion and life situation that would otherwise be hard to decipher. Foremost among them, pain and melancholy, which I have tried to transform into something new. The faces, bodies, souls that take shape on canvas or paper tell the story of the people I have encountered, as I have experienced them, but they also represent part of me, the most complex one. Certainly the style, the way I play with color was born not only from within, but also from the observation of artistic patterns that I have studied. I love, for example, the feverish painting of Vincent van Gogh, the metaphysic of the Chirico with those mannequin-like bodies capable of communicating the strongest emotion, like a deep sense of estrangement. The expressionists with their vivid color are etched in my memory, and I'm always enchanted by their works. Among my favorites is certainly the precursor of this movement, Edvard Munch. I leave the space of the canvas or white paper primarily as a space free from conditioning and external influences. It is a journey. It is a journey that I'm still undertaking without a steering wheel, freeing the control that I impose in other areas of my life. The relationship with art for me is also sensory, especially with oil painting or acrylics. I often can't resist letting go of the brushes and using my hands and fingertips to paint. My work is always accompanied by music, which music reflects my mood. I remember the first time my art teacher in high school turning on the stereo while we were painting during a workshop, and that break of silence and patterns contributed to the magic. I use this word because it was a magic. It felt as if a light had been turned on and my mind could rest, allowing art to take over. I'm currently trying to emerge from the initial observation and personally let go of the eagerness to communicate through the canvas how I feel. I'm in a very, very different phase from when I started. The big challenge of being an artist is, first of all, the courage to show oneself naked to the public, exposing oneself to judgment. When the work is finished, it's like being looked at deeply, a kind of inner nudity that is even more challenging than physical nakedness. Secondly, to be able to live or almost from one's art, venturing into the difficulties of getting noticed and selling work without forgetting and losing the magic of creation as the most important end. To my younger self, I would have said not to ignore yourself just to be classified as an artist. You can make it on your own, and you can become an artist even sooner than you imagine, even before someone else labels you as such. We are artists at the moment we recognize ourselves in the drawing. Those brush strokes are us, and we are ready to tell the world our story, hoping that someone will recognize their on it. The most beautiful reaction in front of one of my works was from a stranger, I remember, during one of my exhibitions. She approached me and timidly said, pointing at the artwork, "Oh, it's me." At that moment, I no longer cared how that painting came to be. I had painted it during a difficult time, I remember, but with her insight, its meaning changed, it evolved, and I was happy to let it go. This is what I expect from those who look at my work, that they feel an emotion, but above all, can recognize themselves, to be able to see for the first time something they hadn't wholly felt but not focused on. My journey in art has just begun. I recently launched my website where, along with my Instagram profile, you can connect with my painted story, as I love to call them, and discover more about them and perhaps about yourself. Thank you very much.